Applying for non-clinical jobs can be very discouraging. Oftentimes, you end up applying for hours and you either get a rejection email or you hear nothing at all. Well, today I want to try to provide some realistic expectations of how long it's going to take to get a non-clinical job based on my experience as well as the experience of others that I know and have helped join the non-clinical world. I also want to try to provide some reasons why the job search may take longer or may be shorter, and also try to provide some resources to help speed up the process. If you don't know who I am, my name's Philip McGee. I'm a physical therapist who works full-time in utilization review, and I want to start telling you my story of how I went into the non-clinical world. I began applying for utilization review roles in the middle of February 2021, and at that time, I had no context for how long it would take to get an interview. I thought, based on my experiences as a clinician, it wouldn't take very long. And I was getting pretty frustrated after a few weeks of spending hours on applications. I made some adjustments to my resume, and after 1 month and almost 20 different applications, I got an email saying that I had an interview with Navi Health. In the middle of April, I received a job offer from Navi Health, and so 2 months from starting the applications, I received my job offer, and almost 3 months from starting my applications, I was able to start my job. Now, my experience, I thought, was pretty typical. The more people I would encounter that were trying to get utilization review jobs, the more I felt very fortunate because I actually didn't have to wait that long in comparison to most people, that I only had to wait about 3 months from start to finish to start my utilization review job. I started to realize that there were a lot of people who wanted to join the non-clinical world, but they just didn't know how to do it. And after successfully being able to help people review their resume and be able to interview well, I started Non-Clinical Career Guide, and I began with creating a free ebook that you can download. I'll provide the link below, but I started to be able to help multiple people, and I found that on average, most people wait about 4 to 6 months before being able to successfully get a job offer, but oftentimes it can take longer. I would say it can take sometimes 6 to 12 months before getting a job offer. And oftentimes there's people that get multiple interviews and it just doesn't work out for them. So I would say it's pretty common that you're going to need to do more than a couple interviews before you get your first job. The main factor that plays into how long it's going to take to get a non-clinical job has to do with how competitive that job is. And there's lots of different factors that play into that. It can be the job itself, how popular that is. I will say that utilization review tends to be one of the more popular job options. And if it's a job that has only a few positions, or whether there are multiple positions that are open over a period of time. The other things that play into it is whether it's a remote position or a local position. So if you're applying for a clinical liaison role for an inpatient rehab, for instance, that's going to be a position that you're going to need to be at that location. So there's going to be fewer applicants applying for that job. While if it's a remote position, anyone throughout the United States may be able to apply. One of the most common questions I get is, how can I speed up the process? And what I would say is that your resume is the most important thing to try to improve on. If you have been applying for a few weeks and you haven't received any interview requests, I would say you need to make updates to your resume because it's probably not getting through the applicant tracking system, or it's just not competitive enough with the other applicants. So I did create a free ebook that you can download. I'm going to provide the link below. that you can look at the 10 most common errors that I see in resumes when reviewing resumes. Make sure that your resume is specific to the job that you're applying for. I know I wasted many hours trying to just submit the same resume, only changing a few words in it, mostly the job title, and that's usually not going to be sufficient. Another way to speed up the process is to network, and I honestly didn't utilize this very much when I was applying, and I think that there's a lot of people that have had success by networking through LinkedIn. If you don't have a LinkedIn profile, I did make a video on how to set it up from start to finish, and you can click the link in the description. LinkedIn is a great resource because you can search for different roles or search for different companies that you would like to work for, and you can try to network with people that either have that position or work for that company that you want to work for. Start reaching out to those people, and you may only connect with one person out of 10 people that you reach out to, but that can really help to be able to get an interview. The last thing that I'll mention to speed up the process is to prepare for your interview. And if you haven't watched, I have a couple different videos on how to prepare for your interview. And I would say, even if you haven't received an interview request, it's important to prepare your answers ahead of time. You can look on Indeed for commonly asked interview questions. I do have paid practice interviews. If you are interested, I'll provide the link in the description. And I also do resume reviews. If you're interested in utilization review and you want a step-by-step process, I do have a course that is called Nonclinical Utilization Review. I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you in the next video.